So welcome Fiona Potter from the Redwood City Library. We're so excited to have you back again for our Community Day.
I'm happy to be here, and hopefully I'm sharing my screen.
Yep, I see it.
And let's see, hopefully it's going to be in the slowly. Let's see. Well, I can introduce myself while my computer is slowly getting itself together. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And it's not in the presenter view with the notes?
No.
Okay, awesome. So hello, my name is Fiona Potter. I'm a librarian at the Redwood City Public Library. I am based in the downtown library at 1044 Middlefield Road in downtown Redwood City. And we do have two other locations, one in Redwood Shores neighborhood, and then one, I guess, closer to the hills up by the Key Market and the Rite Aid, and that's our Cherbourg branch. So I was invited today to talk to you about some of the resources that the library has. Available. So the library is definitely known for our books and our physical materials, but we have actually a lot more than just books. So here are some pictures that are getting a little cut off, but that's okay. Here are some pictures of like our online resources that I'm going to talk about today. And these are all things that you can access through a computer, through a smartphone, or through a tablet, and sometimes even just directly through your TV. So the library is coming to you. We've been doing this for a while, even before the pandemic, but especially now, where people are still not always able to go out and about in the community, where we have many ways to bring resources to you in your home. So for all the things that I'm going to talk about today, you are going to need a library card. And I put some pictures of different library cards that are available through the Peninsula Library System on the screen, because I know we might have some folks who are joining us from outside of Redwood City today. But if you live in San Mateo County, you have access to any public library that's part of the Peninsula Library System, which is like a cooperative of libraries that share resources and share services. So if you have any of these cards pictured on the screen, and there's different designs too, like this is a newer design of the Redwood City Library card in my hands. These cards will allow you to check out materials from any public library in our county, and you just need one. So I know some people like to collect cards from a lot of different places, which is totally fine in the state of California. As long as you can prove that you live somewhere in the state, you can get a library card from any jurisdiction. And we can talk a little more later about how that can be beneficial for these online resources, because then you can increase the amount of items that you can download per month. But for our county, you can just have one card from somewhere in San Mateo County. So you can probably imagine close by other library systems are like Palo Alto down here in southern San Mateo County. We're close to Palo Alto. We're close to some parts of Santa Clara County libraries. If you're up in the north part of the county, you're close to San Francisco. If you go to the East Bay at all, you can get a library card anywhere around there. And I put on the screen, what is the City of Redwood City library card? So that includes the City of Redwood City. It includes the Redwood Shores neighborhood, the Emerald Hills neighborhood, and then some also unincorporated areas around. And I'm gonna do my little Zoom dance where I move this box around. Let's see, there we go. So I can see my screen. We used to also have a branch in the North Fair Oaks neighborhood, and North Fair Oaks has become part of the San Mateo County Libraries. So you can still use that library, and your card will still work there, whatever kind of card you have, but that's just a technical matter. So today I'm going to talk about, or attempt to talk about, 4 different resources that are very popular. And the first 3 are resources that are popular for reading, listening, and watching. I'm leaving that intentionally a little vague because as we'll see, there's just so many different permutations of those things. But the three that I'm going to talk about today are Hoopla, this blue square. We're going to talk about Libby or Overdrive, which is the purple circle. And then we're going to talk about Canopy. And I made this chart just to show you the different types of materials that you can get from each of these. So we have, I guess I should have said ebooks actually. You can get from Hoopla books, you can get audiobooks, you can get movies and TV shows, and you can get music albums. From Libby, we can get the same thing again, books and audiobooks, and they also have a big collection of magazines. And then Canopy from this chart looks like it's giving you the least. But if you're the kind of person that loves movies, you love classic film, you love documentaries, you love animated movies and short films, Canopy has a really, really rich collection, hundreds and hundreds of titles. They have titles from the Criterion Collection. They have independent movies. The last time I did a presentation like this was last year, a bit earlier in the pandemic lockdown, and I was letting people know, you know, they have an esthetician course on Canopy. So when we were all locked down at home and our hair was getting longer and longer, they have a video about cutting your hair that you could teach yourself that. So this is just a brief comparison of what we can have. And then I will talk a little bit more about each one. And I can also stop to see if there are any questions and just remind Tina that I'm not really looking at the chat, but if anything comes up, you can feel free to interrupt me. That's totally fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So first we can talk about Hoopla. So again, what can you get? You can get movies and TV shows. You can get music. You can get ebooks, and you can get e-audiobooks. And where can you use these things? So you can access them through your computer, through a smartphone, through a tablet, or even through your TV. So if you have a TV that is a smart TV, or you have a Roku, a Fire Stick, whatever the Google equivalent of that is, a Chromecast stick, anything that allows you to kind of download or access apps on your TV, there is a Hoopla app that you can use. And the music, so I personally, I love to use Hoopla for music. They have the latest pop music albums. They have classical music. They have just nature sounds. I don't know if anyone has been getting a little bit stressed out over the last year or so, and you just want to listen to gentle rainfall for a couple of hours. They even have things like that. So let's try it. Let's see what Hoopla is all about. And I'm going to put, for each of these on the screen, I'm going to put just a kind of generic URL. And I can maybe put all those in the chat as well at the very end. But I'm also going to show you how you can find this through our library's website. So I will just switch over to my browser. Hopefully you can see that. So when you come to our library's homepage, this is what the homepage will look like on a computer screen, and on a phone or a tablet, it might look a little bit different. But right in the main menu, we have a button that says Get It Online. And we have a lot of different online resources that you can use through a phone, a tablet, or a computer, and we've tried to break them out into some different categories to make it a little bit easier to navigate. So all the ones that I will talk about today are in this category called ebooks and downloadables. And again, I'm going to focus today just on Hoopla, Overdrive, Canopy, and Discover and Go, but you can see even on this page that we have more resources. So we offer free access to the New York Times online. We have resources for children. If you have a young child in your life that you like to do story time with, this is a cool animated book program. We have a free online 24-hour tutoring service. We have O'Reilly Learning, which is for learning about computers and software. So this is just 3 out of like maybe 65 different databases that we have. So for any of these, if you're looking at our ebooks and downloadables page and you click on the name of the resource, you're going to get some basic information about it and information about how to get your account set up. And I will say for all 3 of them, the steps are generally going to be, you go to the website. If you've never used it before, you're going to create an account, and you will need to have your library card or at least the barcode number on the back of the card. You'll need that one time. And then once you've created an account, you won't need that again. Like a cooking show, I've magically already logged into Hoopla so that you don't have to watch me type all that stuff in. But this is what it will look like on a computer when you've created your account and you've logged in. And again, on a TV, on a phone, or on a tablet, whether you're on a Apple device or an Android device, you can download an app to use it on those devices. And let's see, that might not be the homepage actually. So this is letting me know that I am accessing slowly. I'm accessing Hoopla through my library, the Redwood City Public Library. At the top, when I log in, it's going to tell me some cool titles that it thinks that I will like. So you can see there's a really broad range of things. We have thrillers, we have comic books, we have British mystery TVs. I really like to watch the show Father Brown Mysteries, and that just got added to Hoopla. So that's exciting. And then it's also telling me how many more titles I have to borrow every month. So for myself in Redwood City, I'm getting 7 titles a month. I think for the San Mateo County libraries, I think you get slightly more. Anyway, see, look, I've watched an episode of Father Brown. I listened to some calming cat music with my cat, was listening to the audiobook for Hamlet. So just a huge range of different things that you can access here. And then I can show you, I suppose, what a book would look like if you were just to read it on your computer. So maybe if I wanted to read the book Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which is the first book in the Harry Potter series, all I have to do is click on borrow. It will ask me to confirm that I want to borrow it. So you won't click on it by accident and waste your borrow. You'll always be asked to confirm. And then let's see. Hoopla Kids, that's nice. Okay, so now if I want to read it, it's just setting it up for me. Here we go. So here it is in my computer. Finding the pages. So I'm just scrolling through this book. And the nice thing about ebooks, as I'm sure a lot of people know, is that you can make usually, let's see, I can change the font, obviously. I can make the text much bigger. I actually don't have very good eyesight, so that's really nice for me. If the white of the screen is too strong, I can change it to something that's a little bit more gentle on your eye. Maybe I want the words spaced farther apart. So definitely for for people that are having some vision issues. The great thing about an ebook, whether it's on your computer or your tablet or your phone, is that you can change the size of the words to whatever is the most comfortable for you. So that's awesome. And now we'll try and exit out of here by clicking on Close Reader. It's going to happen a little slowly. So that's Hoopla. Are there any questions about Hoopla, Tina?
Is there any problem with having to wait for your turn at the book, or I mean, how does that work?
Perfect question that I forgot to address. So thank you very much for asking that. So I should have said at the beginning when I was talking about how Hoopla and Libby both offer books. So definitely use both of them because they have deals with different publishers and they have different content. But the other difference is that Hoopla is on demand. So the way their business is structured, they give access to an unlimited number of simultaneous users. So for all of the content here in Hoopla, there is no waiting list. You just get to use it right away for the amount of time that that you get to have it. So it's 21 days for books and audiobooks, and then shorter increments for the movies and the music. But as we'll see with our next resource, Libby, their business model treats books kind of the same way that a physical book is, and they only let one person use it at a time. So in that system, you will sometimes have to wait. Great question. So if there aren't other questions, back to my slideshow. So we talked about Hoopla, Libby, Overdrive. So again, different business model, different deals with different publishers. One of the other differentiating things about Libby is that they have a bunch of magazines, like the most recent issues, and also in some cases several years of back issues. And then another big difference for Libby is that I actually didn't put on this slide, and I should update that for the next time, is in addition to using it on your computer, on a phone, or on a tablet, you can also download the books to an e-reader if you have one. So it's something like a Kindle reader, a Kobo reader, other types of e-readers. You can download these titles to them. If you have a Kindle reader, the fulfillment is through Amazon, so there's a few extra clicks. And then if you have a Kobo reader, I think it's a little bit more seamless because this company, Overdrive, owns whatever company makes Kobo readers. So that's kind of convenient. So we'll try it out. Switching back over. Okay, so I will again show it on this, on the libraries page, just so that you can see we have some instructions about what to do. So again, if you've never used it before, you're going to the website or you're downloading the app, you're creating your account, and that will require you to have your library card or the number on the barcode. And then Libby's, especially the app, is designed to be very user friendly. So the little girl Libby will kind of like talk to you about what you need to do and orient you to the app. Some people like that. Some people think it's a little bit much, but it can be nice. And then the Overdrive is the company, and Libby is the product or the app. So you'll hear those terms used interchangeably. So once again, like a cooking show, I'm going to take out of the oven my account that I've already logged into. And you can see for almost everyone in San Mateo County, we're all using the Peninsula Library System aggregated version of Overdrive together. So for almost all of us, the website to access this resource is going to be pls.overdrive.com. And if you are using the app on a phone or a tablet, that app is called Libby, or Libby by Overdrive. And it's this little girl who's reading a book. It's purple. So again, the Overdrive books, sometimes you will have to wait in line. It tries to make it very clear to you whether you'll have to wait or not. So we can see right at the top, we have a kind of little book display, digital book display for Pride Month in June, celebrating LGBTQ plus stories. And this is telling us actually all of these books are available right now. The Blue House is like a pretty significant book because it won the National Book Award, so that's cool. You can have access to that book right away. And we can see if we're scrolling down, some other books do have a wait list. So Isabella Wilkerson has a new book out right now too that probably also has a wait list. She's very popular. So you might have to wait a little while to get that book. But sometimes if you're willing to be flexible, you know, audiobook versus ebook, we can see here, there's a wait list to listen to Tanisi Coates' We Were 8 Years in Power book. But if you're able to read or you want to read the ebook, you can get it right away. So that's cool. And maybe I'll click on The Warmth of Other Suns to see what the wait list looks like. I can't remember actually if it tells you how long you might be waiting. So we know that there's 10 copies. And maybe I will place a hold to see what's going to happen. It's going to email me when actually. It's going to email me when it's available. And let's see. So I'm number 30. Now I know I'm number 30 on 10 copies. So in terms of library math, that's not terrible. Maybe I'll get it in a month-ish. That's not too long a wait at all. That's fine. And because I have a Kindle, it's nice to know that I could download this book onto my Kindle too when I finally get it. And if you download the Libby app onto your phone or your tablet, it will email you when a hold is ready, but you can also set it up to just automatically download it as soon as it's available. Some people like that because then they don't have to have an active role in managing all their different holds. And some people would prefer to like look at it and think about it first because maybe they're reading something else and they know they wouldn't be able to finish both books within 21 days. So you can kind of skip your turn but hold your spot in line. That's a nice feature for those really high demand books when you don't want to waste your turn and you don't want to wait again. And it's a nice way to be considerate to others to just, you know, say, hold my spot, I'll be the next person. That's pretty nice. And I will show, oops, it was right there on top. I'll also show the magazines because that's kind of a newer feature. And I'm showing you on a computer, but I will assure you that even though a smartphone is small, this feature also, or the magazines also work really well on a phone. It will let you like kind of zoom in and out on the pages. If you're reading something that's a little bit wordier, like, let's see, The Economist, it will, if you click on an article, it will display it with kind of normal sized text, scrollable text, like you would see on a website, text that you can make bigger and smaller. That's reflowable, so that's not bad. And maybe, yeah, I'll check out an issue of the New Yorker if I still have enough checkouts this month. You can even just read a sample. You could say, hey, I was actually reading the May 28th issue at my doctor's office. Can I go back to that one instead, or May 24th? and it looks like it goes back pretty far. I'm not going to keep scrolling back, but the issues go back pretty far. So if I borrow this for 21 days, I can read it now just in my computer. It's loading, and all of them, the interface is going to work a little bit differently, but you can see I can just scroll through the way I would oops, it's loading. I can just scroll through the way I would for a magazine that I was holding in my hand, and then my internet's a little slow, but you can also zoom in and out of the pages. That's very nice. Oh my, and thank you for letting me know about network issues. Awesome. So I'm gonna stop talking about Libby and check to see if there are any questions.
There is a question on museum passes option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the question on that.
Yes. And how much more time do I have?
You have about
Tina?
15 minutes.
15? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we could go in a different order. We could skip ahead to museum passes and then come back to movies. Let's see. Whoops. Okay, so our museum passes program is called Discover and Go. This is a very popular program that was started by the Contra Costa library system, and they allow many other libraries to use the same platform to provide this service. So what can you get from this? What can you get from this program? So you can get free and sometimes discounted passes to all kinds of local attractions all over the Bay Area and even in Sacramento. So North Bay, South Bay, San Francisco, places in the East Bay, all over the place. This is a picture of outside the DeYoung Museum in San Francisco. So I'm gonna hop over there. Hopefully these network issues will not prevent me from showing this. So again, I'm gonna first show you through, that ebooks and downloadables page, just so that you can see some extra instructions that we've shared. So one important thing to keep in mind, like every other, two important things. So first, you do have to have, again, a library card or the number on the back. And Discover and Go is a little bit strict about which attractions are offered to which libraries. So the zip code that you live in does matter, and that they give out the passes, I think, kind of at random to different libraries every month. And if you access it through our website, it's going to ask you even what is the beginning digits of your library card number, and these are just corresponding to those different libraries in our county, the county libraries, Redwood City, Burlingame, San Mateo City, all those different libraries. That's what these different numbers represent. So I'm going to say my home library or my library card ends in 45 for Redwood City. And it's going to take me over to the page. I'm going to type in my number. Actually, like a cooking show. Nope, gotta log in again. Let's see. Okay. So, Discover and Go. There's two ways to see what attractions are available. So the first is to look by date, and the default is for today's date. So usually, because people are claiming the passes, I'm going to scroll down. This might be the only one that's available. Oh, we also have Curiosity for today. Not too bad. So yeah, today, if after this presentation, if I was off work and I was ready to go, I could drive up to the North Bay to try and get into this Charles M. Schulz Museum. I could go to Curiosity, which is a bit closer to home, the Legion of Honor in San Francisco, etc. So that's looking at it by date. Maybe I know, hey, today on June 23rd, I'm working, but next Wednesday, June 30th, I'm going to be off of work. Or maybe I know my relatives are visiting from out of town. I want to take them somewhere. So I'll check out what's available on June 30th. And maybe it's going to be a pretty similar slate. There might be something a little bit different. So that's looking at it by date. Another thing is you could ask yourself, I've been to all of these already. What else do you have for me? Without me having to look through every single date to check them all one after another. So instead of looking by the date, we can look by just all attractions. And it will, this is going to give me a long list, and I'm just scrolling fast so you can see there's several things on here. It's going to give me a long list of all of the things that we currently have a contract with through Discover and Go. And then next to each one, there's a link that says show first available offer. So if I clicked on, again, next to this Charles M. Schulz Museum, if I click on show first available offer, it's today. And then I can click on this button to reserve that. One thing, I'm going to go back to this long list of just all the attractions to mention that each of these, almost each of these, 20 different museums or places to visit have slightly different rules about what they accept from Discover and Go passes. So you'll see for the first few, they will accept a mobile or a printed pass, and we can reserve one per calendar year. But then if we start scrolling down a little more, this one's different, right? The Contemporary Jewish Museum, you have to print out a pass to visit them. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit different now because of the pandemic, but because they just don't want to touch things. But sometimes they do require that you print something out. And let's see. So sometimes we'll see that there's no more passes available for this month. So maybe the De Young, I'm just going to make up a number, maybe they give us 10 passes per month. And now that we're at the end of June, it's June 23rd, they've all been claimed, but we could check again next month to see if they've released another batch of passes. And Fioli, same thing. Fioli is right here in Woodside. It's a beautiful garden that can be expensive to visit if you're not a member. And so right now there aren't any passes, but maybe if we check again next month, they will have some available again. And this is nice. We can reserve actually 2 per year from Fioli, which is really cool because it's, again, so close to us if we're based in Redwood City. And it is a just nice place to get outdoors. Hiller Aviation Museum, also another one that's pretty close by in San Carlos. And for each of these, so I'll look at the Ruth Bancroft Garden, for example. It's showing us right now the description, but we can also read more about what is it that they're actually offering us. So when we claim this pass from the Ruth Bancroft Garden, which is in Walnut Creek, if you love, you can even see in their logo here, if you love like succulent plants and cacti. It's a beautiful botanical garden to visit. So what would we get if we if we asked for this pass? We would get free admission for 2 people over the age of 12. We would get 1 per household, so they don't want you to maybe I claim one and my husband claims one and we both use it on the same day. They don't want that. I don't really know how they would catch you, but discouraged. And then they prefer that you come on these days of the week. So that's telling us more about what the offer is. There is information about the hours. And there's also information about accessibility. So if you are using a wheelchair or a scooter, if you just know that you're going to need places to take a break or sit down, if you have other accommodation needs, it lets you know about the amenities that are available there, and then also who to call if you have more questions about how you can make your visit more accessible and enjoyable to you. And then I have also seen, let's see, I'm gonna try getting this one. So San Jose Museum of Art, what are we gonna get? We will get a free admission for 4 family members. It's pretty nice. And might go ahead and I'm not going to confirm this because I am working on the 25th, but you can see when you click on it, again, it's like Libby or it's like Overdrive. You don't click on it by accident and waste your click. It'll always give you a little bit more information and ask you to confirm. But here it's just telling me that it will email that confirmation message to me, and it's confirming the date that I asked for. So I know this is, again, just read all of the details carefully because they all do differ a little bit from each other. And you're also welcome to contact the library if you have any issues. Are there any questions about Discover and Go? Has anyone used it before and enjoyed it? I think I used it once to go to the Oakland Museum, and that offer was to have like a parent and child go together to the Oakland Museum, and they let my aunt be my child on that day. So it'll vary by the place that you go to, but it seems really complicated and scary, and it's not. It's fun.
Yeah, I use the Bank of America museum passes, but not Discover and Go.
Yeah, that's also a great program if you have, if you bank with Bank of America, they have days every month where you can go to different places for free.
Right.
I almost think that this one's a little bit better in the sense that Bank of America Day is always really, really crowded, or it can be really crowded. And here, like, we have many days that we could go to some of these places. So if you are worried about crowds, I guess right now a lot of these places are limiting capacity anyway, but in general, it can be nice to get to pick your own date. I'm going to take a little water break too. Okay, Discover and Go. And I will say Discover and Go is one that gets a little bit more, they have more technical glitches than some of those other resources. So if you ever have a problem accessing the site or making your reservation and you think that you should be able to, because it's showing that something's available, it's not you, it's definitely the computer or the server or something. So go ahead and contact the library and we'll try to help you out. But yeah, it's worth it because it's fun to get out and explore these different places. And how much more time do I have, Tina?
We have about 5 minutes, 6 minutes actually.
6 minutes. So do you want me to talk about streaming movies, or are there other questions or experiences or anything that you want to, anything else you want me to go over. I'm also willing, I can like talk to you if you've used one of these before and you've had an issue. We can do a little troubleshoot clinic really fast. I would say my philosophy for all of these is it's probably not you, it's the app itself. And in terms of the ease of usability, I think Libby is definitely the easiest one. But they're all like trying to be as accessible and well designed as possible to make things easy for you. I guess I will show Canopy just a little bit right at the end, but if there are any questions, you can interrupt me. So Canopy, again, seems like the least, right? Because it's just offering film stuff, but it's really cool, a really, really great resource. They have so many different types of films on offer that we can see here. So once again, like a cooking show, I have already signed in through my account, and I will even, this is the welcoming page, but I can look at my dashboard because I think it will tell me maybe how many more credits I have this month. So if you have this type of library card, Redwood City or other design, the other design too, people that have a red card, a Redwood City Public Library card, you're getting 10 credits a month. So I still have all of my credits, which is exciting. I could really have a movie marathon this weekend. And what do we have here? So even just if I am scrolling down a little, you can see they have some blockbuster movies, like I, Tonya is a movie from the last couple of years, surely. Some more indie movies, let's say. They have a lot of documentaries. I think that's a really strong category for them. And Honeyland is like a really cool documentary about someone who is raising honeybees and the kind of conflicts that they have in their village about that. And we here at the Redwood City Public Library, of course, are very into bees. We have bees on our roof that I'm kind of looking at right now, actually outside the window. And let's see, world cinema. So if you want to see a foreign film, there's a lot of different options. We have, let's see, some classics. So like Super Size Me is a pretty classic documentary from a few years ago about a man who would always supersize his McDonald's meals every day for a year. Memento, kind of a classic movie, modern classic movie. Let's see. I'm looking for, let's see, Greek courses. I think I mentioned this. So the Greek courses is like a brand of, you know, video lectures, right? But they have all kinds of different titles here. And then the one that I'm not seeing, oh, classic movies, that's fun. The category I'm not seeing like jumping out at me, but one that's very strong for them actually is like movies from the Criterion Collection. I guess this is one of them, Playtime. The Criterion Collection is movies, a lot of classic movies that have been digitally remastered, so they look very beautiful, just like when you saw it back in the day. The colors really pop, the sound's great, and they're considered you know, very significant films from the history of cinema. I think, what was that movie I watched? The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, which is like a 16th musical with Catherine Deneuve, and she's just in France singing about umbrellas. I think that's a movie that inspired the movie La La Land, so it's very colorful and musical. That's a movie that I watched on Canopy recently that I really liked. So 10 a month. If you're watching TV shows, I think they each episode counts as one of the views. So I'll stop sharing my screen. to see if there's any more questions or comments. I can also do some library announcements. So if you missed our chatter at the very beginning of the presentation, all of the Redwood City Library locations are open now. We have more reduced hours compared to before the pandemic, but in general, we're open Monday to Saturday, and the neighborhood branches are closed on Fridays. So Cherbourg branch and Redwood Shores branch are closed on Fridays. We're offering a lot of online programs through Zoom, kind of like this. And in the summer, we have a lot more music programs. For adults, we have craft programs. We have a gardening program next month about saving seeds from your garden that we hope that you will be able to join us at. And then if you have young folks in your life, you know, 5 and under, we also have a in-person story time now for the first time in many, many months. You can come to the park outside the library with your little one and enjoy a live outdoor story time together. So we're very happy to be offering that again. And we are also offering for people of all ages our summer learning challenge right now. You can sign up to, you know, promise to read a certain number of books for the whole summer. You have a lot of time. And as you know now, you have many options for ebooks as well. And for adults, if you complete the challenge, you will be entered in a raffle to win prizes. And the odds in the adult raffle are very good. You're probably going to win a prize. And for younger people, they get just goodie bag prizes. They get a free book, and they get a chance to be entered into a raffle for a scholarship for $1,000 towards their education. So anyway, those are some of the things that we have cooking up this summer at the library, and we're just so happy and thrilled to be offering people back to our branches in person over the last month and in the future. So thank you so much for having me here today and letting me talk about some of these resources. I'll put my work email in the chat. So if anyone has any questions about something that you saw today, or you're just run into a wall with one of these resources, feel free to reach out to me and I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much, Fiona.
Yeah.
All the great information.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, and I should also say, for this audience in particular, if you are a person who is having a lot of trouble getting out and about right now, we also offer a program where we deliver materials to you in your home. So if you're the kind of person like ebooks just doesn't do it for you, you want a physical book, but you don't have a way to get it, I manage a program where we deliver books to you in your home every other week. So same email address, fmpotter@redwoodcity.org. And I can put my phone number too, 650-780-7056. And if you want to be connected to that service and you live in Redwood City, please let me know.
Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care.
And have a great rest of your afternoon to your community day.
Thank you.